This is an excerpt of a recent Power Up webinar called Ask Larry Anything. Hi, my name is Larry Jordan. In this excerpt, I'll show you how to create and display proxies in Adobe Premiere Pro CC. Peter asks, can you explain or demonstrate making and using proxies in Premiere? And the answer is yes. Here is a Premiere project. And I'm going to go to the media browser. In order to create proxies, you must use the media browser. You can't just simply import. So notice I've selected the media browser. I'll press the tilde key to make this larger. And let's go to where our training material is. We'll go to here. And let's go find an air show. There we are. So here we've got some footage from an air show, and I want to take a look at a clip here. Let's pretend this is a 4K clip or a 1080 clip. It doesn't make any difference really. I want to create proxies for it. Before I even select the clips, see these two buttons up here. Ingest is turned on. What does that mean? When I click the settings wrench, when ingest is turned on, from this pop-up menu, I'm going to create proxies. I can then determine what the size of those proxies are, and I generally would pick something which is the same aspect ratio as my source media. I'll pick 1280-720 because I want to have a small proxy file to save space. I can create ProRes 422. If you're on Windows, GoPro Cineform is a much better choice. You could create H.264 proxies, but we're going to have a streaming problem that we talked about already. So I would recommend ProRes Proxy for Mac people and GoPro Cineform for Windows people. And we'll select this and click OK. I'm going to only bring in one clip, but however many clips you have selected, if I right mouse click and say Import, two things happen at the same time. The file gets imported, and in the background, Premiere starts Adobe Media Encoder, and Adobe Media Encoder quickly hustles to convert the file from the source image into the proxy file. Now this is going to happen in the background, and if Media Encoder had already been started, then you wouldn't even see this screen come on. I don't have to worry about Media Encoder at all, so I'm going to click back on Premiere to bring it to the front, and we'll press the tilde key to bring it back down again. So now I have this airshow footage. Select the airshow footage, we'll type a period and edit it to the sequence. Zoom in here. In the background, Adobe Media Encoder is cranking out the proxy file to create the ProRes light that we talked about. But how do we turn on proxies? How do we toggle between? Well, there's two ways. There's the most obvious way. Go up to Premiere, go to Preferences, and go to Media. Inside Media, there's a preference that says Enable Proxies. When this is checked, if you have proxies created for your media, the proxies will be displayed. When this is unchecked, you're showing camera native. So, unchecked, camera native. Checked, proxies. But I'm going to leave it off for a second because there's a better way. It's really hard to see whether that preference is checked or not. There's nothing on the screen that says that proxies are in effect, except when I click this plus sign right here. I'm going to change the layout of the buttons. This icon right here allows us to toggle proxies on and off. I'm going to grab it and drag it down. Let's get rid of this and replace it with proxies. And now click OK. When this is white, I'm looking at the camera master, the high quality file. Click it. When it's blue, I'm now looking at proxies. Behind the scenes, Premiere has switched from displaying the camera master, camera native file, to the proxy file. Go back to white. I'm switched to camera native. Proxy, camera native. Proxy, camera native. Now the problem is this proxy button does not show up unless you click the plus sign to access the button editor, and you drag this down into the button controls. But once you've done that, toggling proxies on and off is as easy as checking that box, is as easy as clicking this icon. So you create proxies using the media browser, and you switch between camera native and proxy files by using this button in the program window. This has been an excerpt from a recent Power Up webinar called Ask Larry Anything. For the complete version of this online training, please visit our store at larryjordan.com/store and look for Webinar 259. By the way, membership is a great value when you need to stretch your training dollars. Membership in our video training library saves you money and time. You can access all of our videos for a low monthly price of only $19.99. That's more than 1,900 movies, hundreds of hours on a wide variety of subjects. Plus, premium members can download practice media and projects. Our training covers Apple and Adobe software. We update it multiple times each month, and for more information, visit larryjordan.com/membership. And thanks.